a cricketer. So I'll just give her the chance to her to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Drashti and I'm a cricketer. I've been playing cricket since I was 14 years of age, and I've played state level at the age of 18, and now I'm trying for senior cricket team as I'm above 19. I'm a batsman and I usually field on the outfields like boundary fielding and all.
Alright, Drashti. So as discussed earlier, you told me that you had a few concerns regarding to your fielding, especially in the inner field. But before we talk about that, I'd like to know what do you think what are your strengths in the fielding part itself. So I just wanted to assess you what you are good at. So would you like to tell something about it?
Yeah, I consider myself as a pretty good outfield fielder because in my entire cricketing career, mostly I have fielded on the outfields. I was always placed on boundary lines because I was good at high catches and flat catches, and I was able to run for a far distance to save boundaries. I had various techniques for diving and saving boundaries, and I was able to save a lot of runs on the boundaries. So I think that, yeah, I'm good at outfield.
Yeah, that's great to hear, Drashti. Okay, Drashti, so after you have mentioned a few of your strengths, would you also like to talk about few of your limitations that you think you might have, which is stopping you in your game?
Yeah, I think I'm not very good at fielding in the inner circles because, as I've told earlier, that in entire cricketing career, I've fielded on boundary lines, and this is very different to what boundary line fielding was, because mostly in the boundary line fieldings we used to get aerial catches, and as compared to inner circle, I was getting more time to judge the ball. What happens in inner circle is the ball comes too quickly, and I cannot anticipate it, and I think that I'm a bit slow in anticipating the ball. So what happens? I make mistake in collecting the ball, and either it's making mistake in collecting the ball, or my throw goes wayward sometimes. So it's not very good for the team because I give away runs.
Yeah, all right. I understand that. What I think is what we should do right now is, if you're okay with it, I'll just let you sign one of the consent form.
Okay.
And just give me a second. If you can just read out all the instructions on the consent form, and if you have any doubt regarding any of these things, just be free to ask me. And after completing this, what we can do is we can go inside a sports hall, and firstly I'll see your game. I'll try to understand your game and understand where you are lacking, and then maybe I can advise you something about it.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Thank you.
So it was really good getting to know your game, and I think that you are pretty much good at what you do right now. But I can definitely say that there's a scope of improvement. What we can do now is we can head back to sports hall again, but this time I'll put an eye tracker on your eyes, and from the data that I get from the eye tracker, I'll be able to assess what's your gaze location, and from that I can measure your fixations, pursuit tracking, your saccades and your blinks. And when I get that data, I'll be able to understand that is your gaze appropriate to execute a run out that you want or not. And probably after doing all this, I'll be able to give you some advice on what you should be doing. These clips are from the pre-test that was conducted with the athlete. As you can see, she is not focusing on the ball as it leaves the bat, being the reason she isn't able to track the path of the ball when it leaves the bat already. Also, as you saw in the previous ball, she misfielded the ball because she didn't watch the ball coming into her hands. From the clips of eye tracker, you will see an example of a saccade as she frequently changes her gaze from receiving the ball to looking at the base of the stump. In the next part, I showed the athlete her footage from the eye tracker. I advised her to implement quiet eye training to improve her performance. She was advised to fixate her gaze on the ball for a longer duration, and she was given 3 cues to implement. First was to watch the ball coming from the bat, second was to carefully track the ball coming into her hands, and lastly to focus nowhere else but just at the base of the stumps. As observed, she got better with her gaze, making sure she carefully receives the ball by watching the ball coming right into her hands. As a result, she also improved her direct hit. So as a conclusion part of this video, I'd like to briefly summarize what we did with the athlete till now. So the athlete was struggling with gaze control, and to improve that, we gave her a quiet eye intervention which used an eye tracker. In this intervention, we helped her with 2 types of gaze control that she was struggling with. The one being gaze control in interceptive timing task, which was related to receiving the ball or catching the ball, and the second was gaze control in targeting task, which was related to hitting the stumps. Initially, what we observed with the athlete was she had very shorter quiet eye duration, which meant that she couldn't focus on the ball for a longer time. This was because she had many distractions in her visuomotor workspace. To tackle this, we gave her a few cues to implement when she was fielding. So first one was to focus on the bat at the time when the batsman hit the ball, to give her that extra second to track the ball before it comes to her. The second cue was to watch the ball come into her hands. So what she was doing initially was preparing to throw even before she had the ball in her hand. So that was the second cue that I gave her. And the last cue that I gave her was to look at the base of the stumps for a slightly longer duration, and this thing helped her focusing better on her target. So moving forward from here, the last thing that we can do with the athlete is teach her the gaze control in targeting task, which is related to visual spatial information. In this, there is an aspect of decision making as well, because in cricket, while doing a run out, the fielder also sometimes have to see where the batsman is short of his crease, either it's on striker end or the non-striker end, and depending upon that, she has to throw the ball. So yeah, this still remains a topic to be taught to the athlete if she wants, but this is it for now. Thank you for this video.